Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, Alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the podcast, and soon, I think, an experiment on Substack, but we'll come back to that on another occasion to tell you more about that possibility. Today, of course, we are talking to Tig James, MBE, with her post-Brexit Brit update. Let's give her a nice big round of applause and bring her onto the screen. Hi, Tig. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Excellent to see you. Lots to talk about this morning, not least to pick up on the information that you shared with us last time, that you are professionalizing what you do, and this is a service available to people. How's that going?
Well, we've been going just over 2 weeks, and it's going very well.
Oh, congratulations! I hope there was a bottle of Espumant cracked for that for the celebration and launch.
We're sort of like, we weren't quite sure how people were going to react because, of course, for 9 years they've been getting all this information for free, and we just couldn't do it anymore. You know, hundreds of hours a month. After it was just because, of course, you know, I mean, my business partners, I mean, you know, it was taking away their earning capacity.
Of course,
you know, it was just impossible. So we said, enough. We cannot do this. So we launched with trepidation, I have to say, because we thought people would come back and go, oh, now you're just being greedy. The exact opposite.
Good.
We had hundreds of people saying to us, about time.
Very good. I'm so glad to hear that. People view you differently as well, don't they? I think if people are paying for the service, they take it a bit more seriously, and professionalizing yourself in this way does put you on a different sort of platform and level, I think.
Yeah, but it hasn't really changed that much, to be honest. People have still been pretty much the same. I think it feels more comfortable for us because people know exactly the relationship, whereas, you know, yeah, it's been good. And
excellent.
Yeah.
And these are the details. We'll come back to these, of course, and I'll put them in the notes for this episode as well. Let me just take away the little banner there that's over your strapline. Helping immigrants in Portugal. That's what it's all about. And that's what we're going to do this morning as well with our catch up for May 2025. So first thing I think you wanted to share with us is about, well, before I go there, good luck with the whole venture, by the way, to you and your partners.
Before we move on, can I just mention, I mean, it's something I've talked to you about previously, that the email, if people could please email us and not ring, and that's not for our benefit. Well, it might be a little bit, but if they could email us, please, and please check your spam folder, because we've had some emails going to spam. But when people speak to us, they forget 80% of what we say.
Yes, I bet.
If we email, because there's so much information we can give, so that they're asking for. But if people email us, you have it in writing and you can refer back to it, and it works.
That's such a good idea. That's such a good idea. It's like when you ask somebody for directions, isn't it? You stop, and then they give you directions, and then you drive away. You think, "What? That was really helpful. That was really nice. What did they just say? I can't remember." And I'm sure it's the same in this instance. So tjpartnership@gmx.com. Best to email rather than to phone. And there'll be a record, which will be your prompt, your aid memoir, and a recording, basically a text version of what was said, or the email exchange will be there for you to refer back to, which is a great idea.
Because often, of course, we give a process.
Yeah.
You know, you do this, this, and this. Well, of course, after the first two steps, people are going, "Oh yeah, okay." And then
thank you.
Did you say after that?
They're probably secretly wishing they were recording as well. So that's the best thing to do, isn't it? Is to have an email interaction with you at tjpartnership@gmx.com, which I'll also put on the screen so people can see. All right, excellent. This is the May 2025 update, post-Brexit Brit update. This is what you do. And as you say, did you say 9 years you've been doing this?
Yeah. So we just couldn't do it anymore. But here we go.
Fair enough. Here we go. Let's update people. Social security numbers at health centres. What's going on there, Tig?
Basically, the computer system at health centres has changed, and it changed a few months ago now. Yeah. But of course, the computer says, so you have got a doctors, receptionists who've all gone to the Rottweiler School of Communication.
It's the same the world over.
Yes, they've all gone to the same school. I'm absolutely convinced.
Yes.
Anyway, so, and of course, the computer says you need a NIS number, national insurance number, to register for healthcare. No, you don't.
There you go. All right.
Need a NIS number. And if anybody has any issues with that, if they can contact Tig James Partnership, TJP, we will help you sort it out.
Right, that is the right email address I'm putting on the screen there, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
If they just email and we'll help you sort that out. And also we'll talk to the embassy about it for you. And yes.
So to clarify, they are prompting people and asking for that because it's on their software, but you do not need a social security number. You need an SNS, not an NISS, don't you?
You're actually trying to register for your SNS number at a health centre, but all you need to register for healthcare is residency.
Okay, so take that paperwork along. Prove that on arrival. Okay,
may not be enough, and this is the issue that we've been having for a very, very long time. But the embassy are on board with it with me, so just give me a shout. Okay, or email that, and we will start, the ball rolling for you to try and resolve the issue. Yeah.
How is the new ambassador settling in?
She's been there a year since January. I was promised a meeting and I've never had one. So there you go. Don't know.
Well, okay. When it happens, I'm happy to come along with you, given that it's been delayed. I'd love to meet the ambassador, or maybe you can bring the ambassador on with you one of these days.
Maybe.
Okay. We've not heard much from the new American ambassador either, have we? Who's fairly recently in post as well. But this is Post-Brexit Brit update. We'll talk about the American ambassador in other circumstances. Talking of residency, then this is some great information. We always get great information from you. When you are applying for your first permanent residency document, use the word, what's the right choice of words here, Tig? You tell us.
Apply.
Right, okay.
I am applying. If you've got a temporary card and you say you're renewing, which to us it is really, isn't it?
Yeah,
You're not. You're applying, because if you say I'm renewing, what we found is I'm coming back and directing you to the wrong office, because they have different officers for applying than renewing. So
that's a key word to them then, or a key differentiation. Yes. You are applying, you are not renewing. If you say renewing, you might end up in an unnecessary queue and go round in circles.
Yes.
And that's what we want to avoid happening.
Yeah, they'll tell you, they'll send you to the renewing office. And then when they realise that you're actually applying, you start all over again.
Oh dear. Okay, it's like it's like snakes and ladders.
Yeah. You just hit a snake.
You just hit a snake.
Or Monopoly, and you went to jail, didn't you?
Well, hopefully not. But yes, I get the point. You'll miss a go or whatever. Yeah, community chest. Okay, very good. So use the word apply rather than renew when you're going for your first permanent residency document. Anything to add to that?
Not particularly to that specific issue, but just to let people know, and as you know, this has been something I've been saying for years now. We are now still coming across people that never applied for their withdrawal agreement biometric cards, believe it or not. So this is for people that were UK nationals that were resident in Portugal pre-2021.
Yes.
We were all supposed to get these cards, weren't we? We're still coming across. And now what we're finding is people are now contacting us saying, I think I've been a bit silly.
Do you guess? Let me guess. And then you say, did you not do the post-Brexit thing? And I think, yeah, actually. Can you help those people when they do that?
Yeah, we can help.
Okay.
In a few different ways. Yeah, we can help them. But the thing is what people need to know, and what we've been saying for a very, very long time, is these people are now getting emails from IMA saying they're going to be deported.
Seriously, is that what it's come to?
But they're illegal immigrants. They haven't.
I understand that, but you can. I'm guessing you can understand my surprise that IMA have got time to do that. But fair enough, it is important, and it is a long time. You're right.
They haven't got the right documentation. They've got EU citizenship, residency, if anything.
Yeah.
And they aren't legal documents.
What the old bit of paper with the crew? It was what we used to be able to
Yeah.
use, wasn't it? Okay.
But the thing is with the crew, I mean, the thing is, if you have a crew, it means that you do come under the withdrawal agreement.
Yes. Yes.
So the deportation is wrong. They
Mhm.
can't actually threaten that. However, you still haven't got the right paperwork, and also they are now tightening up on people.
Okay.
They're really, really tightening up. And if you go for your withdrawal agreement biometric card, crew clutched in your hand, they're
Mhm.
also asking now for proof that you have maintained 6 months residency in the years after 2020.
How would you do that?
Bank
What,
statements.
utility bills and that sort of thing?
Well, utility bills are a bit of a stickler because if you just
Doesn't
own a
mean you're here,
house,
does it? Doesn't
no,
mean you're here, does it? No. Okay, so a bank would work because you've got transactions of your life in. Okay, very good. It's always great. This such good information. Thank you very much indeed.
welcome.
And further to these Brits who you must get so many people embarrassed and groveling asking for help, right? Just
Well,
going back.
I think the thing that gets us is the ostrich syndrome.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just, guys, this is immigration we're talking here.
Yeah.
Nobody's special. We're immigrants, and
Just a quick British entitlement check there. Thank you. We need a special
sorry,
jingle. We need a special jingle for that, don't we? Okay. Further to them, the Brexit portal has gone. That's another thing that might stiffen the sinews and summon up the blood, right? It's gone. However, it has been replaced. So what do people do now?
They use the Brexit email, a timer. There's a Brexit email which I haven't got to hand. I'm really sorry. And also, what they can do is they can use the Brexit designated phone line,
Which is on the screen now.
on the
214, if you're
screen
listening on
now.
the podcast, 214-236-709.
Yeah.
So the portal was a way of basically booking an appointment, wasn't it? And going along and getting your new card.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
but now
Yes.
that's gone, you'll just have to set an appointment with the helpline, will you?
You'll have to ring them if people want, because obviously now we're coming up to the 5-year mark from when the
Right.
cards were, and lots of people have been in residence more than 5 years, so they want their permanent cards. But as we've discussed before, their withdrawal agreement biometric cards got a 5-year expiry date from the appointment, which isn't the same as when you first came.
No, that's true.
So
Okay.
people's 5-year, say they arrived in 2019, got their card, withdrawal agreement biometric card in 2022.
Yeah.
Well, they've been here more than 5 years, but you cannot get an appointment on that phone line for the Brexit helpline. You cannot get an appointment.
Oh.
But what they will do is pass the information on and hopefully sort you out from there. But
Good.
not for temporary into permanent cards. It won't work.
Okay. All right.
So they just go on to the general IMA help, which I think is Giral at.
I'm sure if people drop your line there, that's the one reason, isn't it, to get in touch and get a response from you on that. Okay, but there you go. Brexit portal has gone. Now a designated Brexit helpline, 214-236-709. It's open between 8 and in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. That's an early start, isn't it? 8 in the morning.
It is, yeah.
That's interesting. All right. So we're here with Tig James MBEs. Sorry, I haven't put that on there, Tig. I'm so sorry. I'll be hearing from the ambassador. Monthly post-Brexit Brit update for May 2025. What else have you got? Because we started a conversation, didn't we, last time, about how if people were over 65, looking for loopholes for not doing the language requirement for citizenship or for extended residency. What sense have you been able to make of that, if any?
Basically, for citizenship, regardless of age, you have to do the language requirement. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
And what it is that if people, because you can keep doing a 2-year temporary residency, It's it's just a label. It's nothing temporary about it. You are actually here on a permanent basis as such. It's just temporary. But people can keep renewing that every 2 years. But if people actually want to go for the permanent residency, sorry guys, we have looked everywhere. We cannot find any exception for age to the language requirement for a permanent residency.
Okay, but permanent residency and citizenship are not the same thing, are they?
No. Citizenship is literally taking the nationality of a country. Residency, I mean, I could move to Germany and be a resident in Germany, but I'm not a citizen.
Okay. Now, why would you, on the one hand, keep renewing temporary residency and not apply for permanent residency?
Permanent's longer.
Okay, so why wouldn't you just do that?
Because you need the language requirement.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. Okay, but where we thought people didn't need that before. Okay, all right.
Well, somebody suggested it in the last month, didn't they? That they that you didn't need the language requirement if you were at 65 and over. And I said I'm not sure about that, but I'll check.
Yes,
and
for
can't find any exception for age anywhere.
When I've asked elsewhere about that, there is an exemption for dementia for people unable to communicate. I think there has been an exemption for that, but that's not the same as being over 65, is it? Hopefully.
And I mean, there's always going to be exceptions, aren't there? I mean, you dementia for somebody,
cognitive impairment of any kind. You obviously you can't make somebody in that condition speak the language, so there will be exemptions for that. But somebody was looking for a more general rule, weren't they?
Heck, I've hit 65, I don't have to do it.
Right, absolutely. Now, on that note as well, this matter of citizenship and the relative benefits of becoming a citizen or remaining a temporary or permanent resident, there's a tax implication, isn't there, that people might need to know about as well?
Let me give my example, then I'll check this if I can. But tax is something, it's about the one thing we won't do on TIG James, MBE and partners, because
very wisely, yes.
Oh gosh, no, no. When I got Portuguese citizenship, my accountant actually obviously changed my nationality to Portuguese when she did the tax return, because the IRN office, said she's not English and she's not British anymore. Get her to Portuguese. So that's what she did. But what she didn't do was put that I was British as well. And suddenly I am, because majority of my tax is paid in the UK, I got hammered for tax in Portugal that I'd never had before, because it was just Portuguese, as I was down as a Portuguese citizen. I then had this ongoing thing for about a month to try and stop paying this huge tax bill. And that's all it needed, was just being put as a UK national and a Portuguese national, because then I came under the double taxation treaty in the UK. Now, from what you've told me, Americans are finding the same, that they are being hammered because they're putting that if they get Portuguese citizenship. I would suggest that maybe, just maybe, if you put USA and Portuguese onto your tax return, that you then go back to being covered by the USA double taxation treaty.
Yes.
But it's not something I know about for certain. All I know is transferring my experience. It might be the same for Americans, but I'll see what I can find out for you.
Thank you. And you might, you can understand why the Portuguese fiscal authority would have done that. They're only seeing Portuguese citizens, aren't they? So they would tax all your income at the Portuguese rate, not knowing that you're applying for under the auspices of the dual taxation treaty. So that's why that happened. And that's why it can come as a big shock to people as well. Any further clarification? There you go. There's the email address for doing that. Email rather than call, but I will put the details up for both the telephone number and the email. But as Tig says, it's better to email than you've got your paper trail of the correspondence you've had. Anything else in this May update, Tig?
Not that I can think of. Just guys. Oh, yes, there is one thing. I'm now, if you're, anytime you're applying or renewing or whatever you're doing with your immigration paperwork, I think it's on the 28th of April, said that they just will not accept any application, anything at all, unless you have every single document available.
Yes, quite a
Mm.
controversial sound note
Yeah.
to be sending out, isn't it? And then people are finding once they get to VFS that they're being told, "Oh, we don't need this, don't need this, don't need this." But it's best to go belt and braces on these things, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you've been here a number of years, you go with your suitcase, don't you?
You have a concertina file at the very least.
You do. You do.
Actually, how about that? When you start merchandising, when you've got your own T-shirts, that you do a special concertina file with the
Yeah.
TJP logo on it. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I think.
It will, wouldn't it? For all your paperwork, I'm a paperwork. There you go.
All right,
Absolutely.
so there you go. tjpartnership@gmx.com. Number is 928-239-546. Best to email for all the reasons given before. A final word from you, please, T.
Please check your spam if you email us,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it keeps dumping it in it and it annoying the heck out of us. But there's nothing because of course you email us, we can't then we email you back and we can't say please check your spam because it's gone in the spam again.
It's a very modern problem. So check your spam filter, and we'll see you in June, Tig. Thank you very much for being here with your post-Brexit Brit update. Cheers then. Bye for now.
Bye.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts